Hey there, Trixie. How you doing? Welcome everybody that's starting to filter in. Hey there, Shauna. Hey there, Sue. Good to see you guys. Awesome. Love Australia. Yeah, I'm hoping a few people saw some of the messages over on Instagram and Facebook. Doing pretty well. Just got done filming for the day and got to my hotel room. Hey there, Kimberly. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I'm just chilling here in the hotel room. Decided to go live for a little while. I know I hadn't done a live stream in a long time. Well, not in a long time, but in a while. Hey there, Amanda. Good to have you here. Thanks everybody for joining me here tonight. I'm gonna try and do a live stream from an actual location. Hopefully sometime tomorrow. It depends on how the weather cooperates. Hey there, April. Good to have you. So, be looking for that. I'm not sure exactly how the weather is going to cooperate. It's supposed to rain all across the Midwest starting tomorrow afternoon sometime, and I am going to be doing a lot of filming tomorrow as well. Thank you very much, Trixie. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've been doing some crazy filming lately and been getting a lot of really cool locations. Some of the coolest are still yet to come. I've got about 4 locations previous to today that I had gotten filmed that have not been released yet, and then I got 3 more locations today, and hopefully getting a bunch more tomorrow. Oh yeah, I heard about the bushfires over in Australia. That is so horrible. Yeah, anybody here, if you have the ability to donate, Australia is having a really hard time now. They're having a lot of wildfires and could really use the help. So if you have the ability to donate, make sure you go to one of the sites that you can send some money to. And I'll be putting some stuff up on my own Instagram where you guys can go and donate some money to the Australia cause. So. Hey there, girl in the curl. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Lori, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, lots of weird, well, not weird. I guess it's normal for wildfires to occur, and it just sucks. It's one of those things that, happens all across the United States. It's been happening a lot this year in California and including some more Midwestern states. I think was it in Minnesota or something that had a lot of, I was going to say live streams, but a lot of wildfires. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad that you were able to catch the live stream. So, yeah, it's just important. Anybody out there that's able to give, able to donate. There's a lot of people suffering. There's a lot of animals suffering. Obviously, the environment is suffering. Wildfires are a natural occurrence, so it's not. Sometimes they're a natural occurrence, I should say. So it's not always the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, it's one of those things where a lot of people are often affected by it. A lot of animals are often affected by it, and especially those endangered species. We really want to make sure that they're protected. And so if you have the ability to donate, make sure you go to one of those sites. Make sure you donate. Make sure you do what you can. If you're in the area and you can help out somehow, make sure you help out. It's always good to be giving. It's always good to do charity. Whatever you can do, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's tweeting out something and letting everybody know, all of your followers know, what can be done, where they can go to, donate, or if you're just going out and donating your time, working in a local area that needs your help, whatever you can do to help is always good. So. Again, if you're liking the live streams, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you share it on your favorite social media network. That always helps us to attract a new audience here, while we are waiting on YouTube to add me to the bigger sort of network. I'm going to be monetizing the channel, which doesn't mean necessarily a whole lot of ads, but it does mean that YouTube will share the live streams a little bit more on the main pages if a lot of people are watching. So if you enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share. Yeah, we're here in Ohio. I'm actually over in Bowling Green, Ohio currently, and going to be doing hopefully a lot of filming tomorrow. I did a decent amount of filming today. Hey there, Jenny. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, Cindy. Good to have you here. So yeah, we're doing a lot of filming in Ohio recently and having a lot of good luck. Some of the stuff has been released, some of the stuff has not been released yet. Again, there's probably about, I'd say 7 episodes. I think that's the correct number. 7 or 8 episodes so far that have not been released yet. And then I'm hoping to get about 4 locations in tomorrow. And hopefully that's going to turn into about 6 to 8 parts, depending on what I find when I get to these places. But it looks really, really interesting. So, yeah, I've been finding some really cool abandoned places in Ohio. A lot of stuff that, if you saw the last episode, some weird people started showing up. I had some weird experiences at a cemetery recently, too. I'm not going to divulge the whole thing, but I had some... I don't know if they were trying to scare me or what, but I had some people drive by multiple times, kind of making fools of themselves. So, well, thank you, April. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's always good when you got one of those, I guess, radio voices. Maybe I guess I got the late night radio voice. So, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know if it's coming out too well. It is slightly blue. This is not black. It's just really, really dark blue. Yeah, I got kind of mad at those last people because hey there, Agnes. So I was exploring the location and they started driving by and I saw that they slowed down and I was like, maybe they're just checking me out. No big deal. Hey there, Reverend Christine. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, I looked over, I smiled at him, I waved, "Hi Pam, good to have you." And it looked like he waved back. It was a gentleman and his wife, or a gentleman and a woman in the car. I'm not going to say it's his wife. Maybe it was his wife, maybe his girlfriend, maybe his friend, who knows, maybe it was his sister. And so I waved at him, and he didn't give me like a wave, but he kind of gave me the, the sign like hi or whatever. And then I keep filming. I've got the camera pointed towards me, and I look back over and he stops, just dead, hits the brakes, and I'm looking straight at him and he's just staring at me, and I'm like, I already waved, we already had the exchange, what seems to be the problem here? And so that's when you heard me on camera going, and I said it really loud so that he could hear. And I said, is there something I can help you with? And as soon as I said that, he kind of just keeps staring for a second, and then he slowly lets off the brakes, and then just continues to go. And I wasn't afraid or anything. He didn't seem like he had any ill intent in mind. He just seemed like, thank you so much, Reverend. I appreciate that a lot. Remember, if you're liking the live stream, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, guys. I'm not going to keep repeating that, I promise. But, yeah, just helps out a lot again. But, anyway, yeah, so he just slowly starts pulling off. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. But he slowly starts pulling off and goes about 5 miles per hour for about, I don't know, like an eighth a mile, 16th a mile. I don't even know. I wasn't really paying attention to how long. Well, there probably wouldn't have been really any way to see how far he was going unless I tried to measure it with some sort of tool of some sort. I don't really know. But anyway, despite that, just very strange. And I was not on private property. That was not an off-limits location. It was on a public trail. Hi, Kyle. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thanks for joining us here tonight. So yeah, that was the weird thing. It was like on the sign, it was part of a trail system. I think it was called like the Ohio Canal Trail or whatever. And it literally was asking for volunteers to help come and fix things up on different areas. So I didn't know if maybe he didn't know it was there. Hey there, Faye. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. I couldn't really tell what the deal was because it was like there's no trespassing signs. There's no off-limits signs. There's nothing there to say that it's not okay to be there. Hey there, Venna. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. So, just utterly confusing. And again, maybe he's just a local resident. Maybe he was just checking on me. Maybe he just wanted to make sure I wasn't spray painting the place, I wasn't damaging the place. But at the same time, it's like, I don't necessarily care for the fact that some people seem to consider themselves this sort of privatized security force. I think a lot of people take that whole neighborhood watch thing a little bit too seriously. Neighborhood watch tends to mean that if you see something fishy, you call the police, you call law enforcement, and you tell them what's happening, and you let them know that they need to come out and check the situation out. It doesn't typically mean go stalk people, go stare at people, go film people, and it seems like some people kind of take it as such. And not that it's only happening in places where I go and film. It happens around even my own house. I've got neighbors that take things way too seriously, and they spy on people coming in the addition and things like that. Yeah, absolutely, Cindy. Yeah. I think it makes people kind of feel powerful. And yeah, I've gotten mad at people that, like I said, live around me, and not necessarily that they're spying on me, but they're just out there acting strange. I've got a few neighbors that will literally go out every single night and sort of sit in their car out on a random road in my addition, and they'll wait and they'll just watch people as they go in and out. And it's like, that's not okay. That's not what neighborhood watch means. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your loss there, Reverend. You launched the ashes? That's an interesting. I've never heard of that before. That's very interesting, though. But yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about that. That's terrible. Hi, Kate. Thank you very much. I take it that you are in Ohio, Ohio resident. Yeah, I love being here. I've traveled through Ohio a lot. I always find a lot of cool stuff here, and so I'm always trying to make it back. Oh, sorry, things are disappearing a little bit too quickly here for me. That's awesome, Trixie. Yeah, I kind of wish that people would do that more, because I'm a really friendly person. As people come up and approach me and say anything whatsoever, I'm really nice. I'm always approachable and friendly, and I never am disrespectful. And so it really bugs me that no one will say anything. I had at the last time I filmed previous to today, at every location somebody came and checked on me, and at none of the locations, once again, did anybody actually take the chance to just come say, hi, what are you doing, what's up, anything I can help you with, anything like that. And it's like, if somebody would just do that, I would be more than friendly. I'm not going to be off-putting, I'm not going to be threatening. It's just like, take a little bit more effort, put a little bit more effort into it. Approach the person, say hi. If you really want to be security, that's what you got to do, because that's what real security actually does. They approach people, they talk to people, they interact with people. I've known security people before. I had friends that ran security. Oh, really cool. Yeah, I was actually planning to continue going towards Cleveland and stop in Sandusky and film a few things, but it's looking like by the time I could get to Sandusky now, it's going to be all rained out. So, and I would love to go to Cleveland as well. 1812. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, that's really old for, a lot of places. Oh, that's really interesting. I'll have to check that out. That's really unique. I've never heard of that before, Reverend, and yeah, it's kind of touching. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I'm sure that was a very special moment. Mount Pleasant. I've been to Mount Pleasant before. I'm trying to remember why I was in Mount Pleasant. It's been some years ago, so. But I do love Michigan, and I am planning on it to do a lot more traveling up that way. Sorry if this angle's annoying. Let me. Absolutely. Y'all can ask me any questions you want to ask. Feel free. This is not any type of live stream where we're on a specific subject and talking about anything. It's not one of the podcasts, the alternative culture podcast, although we will be getting back to that soon. Have not forgotten about that, and I do want to. I'm hoping to do the first one and redoing my septum piercing. I'm trying to get a hold of my old friend that owns a tattoo shop, and I looked it up recently, and it didn't look like they did piercings, but I thought that he had told me that they did piercings. So if he does piercings, I'm going to try and call him up and get him to do it. But at the very least, I am also going to try to do a few tattoos and whatnot on stream too. So it's not just going to be talking, it's also going to be doing. So I'm hoping that it'll get a little bit more interesting once I start things back up. Oh yeah, I've often wondered that myself, Trixie. Yeah, Trixie asked, yeah, why in some cemeteries are some of the headstones and memorials facing one direction and some in the other. I take it to a certain degree that is up to the people who purchase the plots, and maybe which direction they want to technically be facing and looking, and what direction they maybe think is best in terms of the view. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that's probably some of it. There is a lot of leeway that comes when you own a plot that maybe you can just tell them which way you want to be. Yeah, other than that, I'm not 100% sure. I actually can, oddly, I probably should ask my dad that, because he worked, shortly after he retired, he worked at a cemetery part-time and actually buried people. And then he ended up quitting because he almost lost a finger from, they let down one of the vaults and it crushed part of his finger, but he didn't end up losing it. It recovered completely. While I was out exploring, no one has ever recognized me that I know of. I've had a lot of people recently wave from their cars, and I've had a few people film me, but not since I went down to Alabama. But yeah, I've had a lot of people like look over and see my car and see maybe me through the windshield and sort of wave real quick. I had a few people point at me like they knew me, that I had no idea who they were, so I'm assuming that they must have known me through YouTube because I had never met them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make it over to Cleveland really soon. I've been to Cleveland before. I've never been to Cleveland to film, but I've been there for a concert and had a lot of fun there. I was actually at a punk show there, probably about 8 years ago, and it was really awesome. There was a punk show going on one side, and there was a jazz show going on the other side. It was like a split off bar. It was like there were two bars in the same exact building, and so after the concert, well, the show, I guess, everybody was just out in the parking lot hanging out, and the jazz musicians are really awesome. I actually ended up giving one of them, or two of them, a ride home, and I met one of the, actually, oddly, it was one of the most famous jazz musicians in Cleveland. I don't know if he's even still alive, and I hate to think about that, but he's a famous jazz drummer named, his nickname is The Sticks, and he played or plays at local establishments and bars and things like that, and so I'm really hoping he's still around. I really don't know. He was getting up there the last time I met him, and really amazing person, and I had a lot of fun hanging out there. Awesome. Yeah, again, Trixie, I'll ask for more information next time I see my dad when I'm back in town and see if maybe I can learn a little bit more about that. Hey there, Kim. Thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, there's actually a few in northern Kentucky that I want to visit as well. There's I can't remember what it is. It's something, the cave cemetery. I don't know if that's the one that you'll work at, but there's a cave at the back of the cemetery, and I've been wanting to explore it, the cemetery and the cave. I think the cave's technically off limits, but I was hoping maybe to call and get permission. I think it's because I'm not looking at the camera. I'm not incredibly tired. It's the camera's over here, and I'm looking at the chat, which is on the exact opposite side of the stream. So I apologize if I'm not overly tired right now, but I'm getting there. It was a long day. I walked a long ways and did a lot of cool locations today. Well, I did 3 really cool locations today. A few of them were kind of dangerous. Waving's alright as long as yeah. Oh yeah, I know Urbex Dane. We've talked a few times. We actually talked about meeting up in Cleveland once. I think he actually technically lives in New Jersey though. He travels to Ohio a lot, but I don't think he lives there. I'll have to go back in my Instagram because we used to talk a lot more, and then we haven't talked. I can't remember the last time I talked to him. But yeah, we both know each other. We both sort of grew up together on YouTube, so yeah, we're both following each other. We've been watching each other's videos for a long time. So yeah, good guy. I can highly recommend him. So yeah, maybe we'll get together one of these days. Yeah, he hasn't really made it as well as far as I know, is out to the Indiana area, and Cleveland is a little bit of a drive for me. Although obviously I've driven way more than that to work with people. So obviously, if he got a hold of me and had something that he thought that both of us could collaborate on, then I'd be more than happy to do that. Yeah, yeah, for whatever reason, I know he travels that way a lot, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I was pretty sure that he actually lives in an eastern, a state on the East Coast. I hope I'm not saying that and he doesn't want. I'm pretty sure he's filmed there too, so I don't think it's like a secret or anything. But I think it's Jersey. But again, I don't want to out him if he doesn't want people to know that. So and I'm not 100% sure. So. Yeah, I think the cave one's in Louisville, if I'm correct. But an old 170-year-old house is still pretty cool too. Hey there, Savannah. Yeah, I've been enjoying Ohio for a while. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here. I do occasionally do some filming here. I know in the past I've been not as open about the locations that I go to, so I at some points I'm probably in Ohio and people just don't realize it just because it looks so much like, Ohio, like Michigan, like Illinois, there's a lot of similarities, so I know that sometimes it's not really obvious where I am, and I've been kind of bad in the past about really giving away locations, but at some points there's been some specific reasons why I haven't actually done that, so, Oh, thank you, April. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We actually had a lot of fun that night. Yeah, incredible guys, a lot of fun to hang out with, a lot of fun to work with. Yeah, and it was just a hilarious video. Pretty hard terrain. We were all kind of getting aggravated at all the thorns and whatnot and how hard it was to get through, and so yeah, we just kind of got to that point where we just lost it because it was just it was just one of those things. Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that video. That was, I think, the last video of the night that we did. And then I think the next day was our live streams and meet and greets. So, or not meet up, I guess, not meet and greet. I guess technically it's kind of the same thing. Although I would say meet and greets are more associated with rock shows and things like that, concerts and whatnot. I've done some EVP work way back in the day. I haven't released it yet. I did end up finding a lot of them, but yeah, I'm not sure how to release them yet. There is some very interesting stuff on there. Peter Cartridge Company. I have never been there. I'm not even sure what that is. I have been to Helltown. I was almost arrested in Helltown. I'm assuming that some of it's still there. So, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I checked on it. I'll have to look it up. But some of it was being torn down. Some of the things were disappearing. But a decent amount of it was still there when I was there. But some of it had already been removed or destroyed. Hey there, Hot Topics. What made me start exploring cemeteries? Mainly just the history and architecture. It's not really like I have a strange obsession with like death or anything like that. I just find them to be really interesting places, and especially when you get out there and find these little hidden places that not a lot of people know about, or maybe almost no one. But yeah, and I had a few back in the day that did really well, and people seemed to enjoy it, so I thought, maybe it was worth a go to do more of them. Near Kings Island. Well, I love Kings Island. I've been to Kings Island quite a bit. I did not know there was an abandoned factory. I'll have to ask my cousin, and my cousin lives in Cincinnati. Maybe he knows a little bit about it, and yeah. Hey there, Todd. Good to have you. For the moment, probably just tonight because the weather is going to be getting bad here, so I might just head back home and edit everything I have and then head back out. Hey there, Drew. Oh, Pennsylvania. Been a long time since I've been to Pennsylvania. I need to get back there and do some filming too. Hey, Savannah, happy 2020 to you. Oh man, I need to catch up with this chat, really. I'm sorry. Cave Hill, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe they'll give me permission or something. Do I ever scare the hell out of myself? Sometimes. I got scared today. Not because there was anything really truly scary, but I was at a war memorial, and I was filming facing at this plaque, and I got done filming, and I turned around and immediately there was two joggers like 5 feet behind me, and I didn't hear anybody coming, and it just really scared me. Well, not scared me, but it made me jump. Thank you, Faye. Yeah, the Helltown stuff was interesting, but yeah, it was one of those things that's like, in the background, it kind of sucked because it was like I was standing there for about an hour and a half waiting to know if I was going to get arrested or not. Thankfully, I only got a $130 fine, and then they sent me on my way, and one of the cops basically told me that he was a fan of ours, and I guess not that he knew us before that, but he had checked out the channel or whatever, I guess. I don't know who told him what the channel name was, but or if that was the smartest thing for us to do, but he seemed to like what we did. Yeah, I would love to do a little bit more nighttime exploring. Hey there, Roy. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I would love to do some asylums. That'd be a lot of fun. I need to come your way, Agnes. You never know. You never know. I'm always planning to go all over the United States and internationally as well, so you never know where I'm going to be next. Um, yeah, I have a desire to travel everywhere, so. Yeah, Cave Hill is really large. A fun bar across the street, yeah. I don't know anything about the area, honestly. The next time I head out to Cali, I'm not sure exactly when. I'm hoping it's going to be this year sometime. Well, I'm planning for it to be this year sometime, but the next time I head out to Cali, I am going to go the old Route 66, and so that should take me through at least northern Texas. So. I would love to make it to Australia. It's been something I've been thinking about for quite a while. I just realized how much I don't like this lamp in this hotel room. I've noticed that in a few of my Instagram photos, which is why I turned the one black and white, because it made me look incredibly red. Every light in this hotel room makes me look like my face is on fire. Like I don't know what it is with these lights. It's the same in the bathroom too. I turned on the bathroom light and thought I had broken out in a rash when I first got here. But yeah, it's been a dream of mine to go to Australia since I was at least 10 years old. And so I'm definitely planning to make it out there. But now that I'm sort of on that travel mindset, it's just my dream to go everywhere. So Australia, I mean, any country, any state. I want to make it to all 50 states here really soon. I want to film in all 50 states for 539. And I would love to start doing more where I'm doing like I want to kind of get like an area of my body, I'm not really sure, maybe my back, maybe something like that, where I get like a tattoo wherever I go. Maybe not every single place because I'd probably run out of room, but like every major place, like when I went to Las Vegas, when I went to San Francisco, Alabama, things like that, I would like to start getting like some sort of commemorative like ink work somewhere where I can sort of document it on my body. But I'm trying to save like my arms and stuff for more like stuff that's really important to me as a person. Travel is definitely, but not each individual location I don't want to do. I'm actually trying to make it to Oregon at some point. Hey there, John. No worries. Glad you're able to join me tonight. Doing the hotel stream. Having a lot of fun out here in Ohio. So yeah, appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, Kate, I actually have the state reformatory marked off on the map. I've heard some weird things about it. I've heard from some people that you are allowed to film. I've heard from other people that you aren't allowed to film, and then I've heard there's just restrictions on where you can film because there's like 2 active prisons on either side of it, and I've heard that you're not supposed to point your camera in the direction of the active prisons, otherwise you get in trouble or something like that. So I'm not really sure, but I would love to do it. Hey there, Juanita. Glad to have you here. No worries. Yeah. I know that everybody can't make every single stream, so just appreciate you guys being here tonight and hanging out with me here in the hotel. Thanks for joining us here, Trixie. Hope you have a really great night. Yeah, I'm glad that you caught the live stream too. Yeah, it's literally like the lamp. Like I like looked in the mirror and I was weirded out. So, yeah. No, I'm not. I don't have a rash. I don't know why it's. I know it might be partially the iPhone camera. I'm not a big fan of the forward-facing camera either. So, yeah. No, I'm fine. and in fact, my skin tone is several shades lighter than what this is, so it's a little irritating. I should probably just pull out my one of my flashlights with the cooler lighting and actually turn it on. All right, let me catch up here. Yeah, I'm always looking for people to show me around different places, Reverend, so maybe we'll have to do that. The oldest cemetery that I've ever been to, probably, I really haven't been to too many, in older places, like out east or whatever, so, probably like 1830s, things like that. I've definitely seen a lot of older burials, Revolutionary War veterans. I've seen War of 1812 veterans, so all kinds of things. But most of the stuff in Ohio, at least in Western Ohio and Indiana, Michigan, places like that, a lot of them aren't incredibly old because it just wasn't settled, uh, that long ago. So, I'm looking forward to making out actually to one of my family cemeteries, one of the oldest family cemeteries that I know about. I know I did one when I was in Kentucky, but I'm planning to do one in Maryland, which actually is from, I believe, the late 1700s to early 1800s. So. Have I ever seen anything supernatural? I've had some weird experiences. I don't know 100% if they're supernatural, but definitely heard some weird things, seen some weird things. There was the one video that I had where I had like the weird, what I called the ghost car, where the car kind of drove through the cemetery, and then I went to find the car and there was no car there. So, I mean, I can't prove that that was actually a ghost car, but it just seemed like it. It's a Chinese bulb. It might be. I don't even. Looks like it's one of those CFLs. I don't even know. Hey there, Valerie. Welcome to the live stream. What am I doing in Ohio? A bunch of different locations. I'm hoping to do. I've got 3 locations in so far. A couple. Well, actually, I did sort of a location which has a graveyard in it and some abandoned stuff. I did a war memorial, and I did another kind of random video. You'll have to wait and see. It's kind of a interesting mix. I don't know, but I'm planning on doing a few different types of locations again tomorrow as well. So hopefully a few 2-part series, 3-part series, something like that. So. Oh yeah, Cindy, the video. Yeah, there was a video where I was in a old 1800s graveyard, and I was about ready to leave, about ready to turn around and head towards the car, and I spotted a rabbit, and the rabbit turned around and ran into the woods, and exactly the spot where it ran into the woods, I ended up finding several hidden graves in the woods that hadn't been. I don't know if they just didn't know that they were there, that it had just been lost for that long, that they had just ended up ignoring it or whatever it was. But yeah, it literally led me to the graves. Hey there, Snowy. Oh, no worries. That's cool. I'm glad that you're a mod on a live stream. That's really awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, yeah, we had some weird experiences like that. The rabbit was definitely one. I can't really obviously prove that it was anything really supernatural, but at the same time, it was kind of a weird coincidence that as I was planning to leave, the rabbit turned around and ran to a hidden location as if it knew it was there. Manya, okay, cool. Glad to have you here, Manya. But yeah. So again, I haven't said it in a while. I promised I wouldn't say it too much, but if you're enjoying the live streams, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have other social media that you don't mind sharing it on so that we can attract a new audience, get some new people. Make sure you do that. And always, as always, if you are seeing me for the very first time, you don't know about the Mystery Channel, you don't know about the 539 channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you check out the primary channel. Since this is my secondary channel, make sure you check out the primary channel, which is 539 Productions. Yeah, Faye, that was... I don't even know what to think about that. Yeah, it's just been kind of weird. It's strange, especially since, you know, there's the term, from Alice in Wonderland, to falling down the rabbit hole, or whatnot. I think it's just kind of strange. It's one of those things where it's like, you never think that something like that's gonna happen until it happens, and then it's just like, well, that was weird, and it really did feel very strange when I was there. It was like, what's going on right now? This rabbit runs into the woods. I just randomly follow it, and there's these hidden graves right in the middle of the woods, and it's like, I don't know what to think, but very cool, and glad that it happened. Glad that the rabbit accidentally led me to some graves or whatever happened, and yeah, I mean, whatever it was, but yeah, trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to be hopefully heading to Indianapolis here pretty soon to do some filming there again, so thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that. Yeah, I find them really fascinating. They're really interesting architecture. A lot of them have really interesting history as well. So, yeah, I think it's one of those things, especially in urban exploration and travel series. A lot of people really miss the stuff like that, and I think it's just because of the kind of preconceived notions of going to places like that. A lot of people think that you have to be strange, you have to be weird, you have to somehow be messed up in the head a little bit to go to these locations, and that's just really not the case. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of interesting things there. There's even some of the places that offer public tours, so I think it's worth the visit. Thank you, Valerie. Yeah, these lamps are just not doing my face justice. Yeah, I took the photo for Instagram earlier, and that's one of the reasons that I turned it to black and white, was because the lamps were making my face look like they were glowing. But it actually doesn't really look like that. Yeah. I don't know where they purchased the light bulbs at in this place, but every single light bulb in this place, from the moment I've gotten here, I flipped on the switch in the bathroom and I thought that I had a rash on my face. Although I may slightly have, it's not as red as what it looks like right now, but like I may slightly have gotten something when I was out there, because I started eating earlier tonight, and for some reason, for like 10 or 15 minutes, like the top of my mouth, the roof of my mouth was like burning, like there was something wrong. So maybe it is slightly red, I don't really know, but I know it's not as red as what it looks like on this stream. So thank you so much, Sandra. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for being here. Hey there, Jen. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Hi, Sandra. Good to see you. That's a good question, Savannah. I don't know. I mean, I guess I feel for people in that situation in some ways, because it's like, your desires are your desires, and I feel like people should be happy, and I don't know. It could go either way. But yeah, I do think that I think it'd be better to do charity, obviously. I think it really serves your memory better, and ultimately would help the world more than a really, really expensive place that ultimately will probably end up decaying at some point anyway. volcano with UFOs. That actually sounds really interesting. I would love to catch something like that. I do have a weird sort of UFO video that I want to do here pretty soon. Or chased by a pheasant. Yeah. I was attacked by a blue jay once. I think there was like a nest nearby, and it just was dive bombing all of us. But yeah, I want to do, there's a couple places near where I live that are like these UFO hotspots. They're, I think, both near Air Force bases, so it kind of could go either way. Maybe people are seeing experimental aircraft. Maybe they're seeing, who knows, maybe even non-experimental aircraft. They're just seeing something they don't know really what it is. But there's been this rumor that there's a special way to film them that they don't appear to the naked eye, and so I've been wanting to sort of go out and give it a shot, see if I can catch anything. So yeah, if you want to put it in chat, you can. I don't know if I can approve comments from my iPhone, so I can't promise it's going to show up. I know YouTube bans links by default and will ask me for permission, so I can't promise that it'll show up because I don't really know if it'll give me the option to approve it. So yeah, but yeah, I like to do some of that type of stuff on the channel. I'm always trying to mix things up, always trying to find new content and different things to try and film. So that's one of the things I've been sort of toying with. I was going to do it when I was in Nevada with Xavier, but we didn't ever get the chance to do that. Hey there, Lola. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, again, you know, if you all have any suggestions, if there's any type of locations that you think fit the format well and you'd like to see it done, or again, any locations that you think are really interesting, it's always cool to get a hold of me. Leave it in the comments, send me an email, hit me up on any social media, and you know, I'll always try and at least consider locations. I can't promise I'm going to do absolutely everything that people send me. Some things I really, it rejected it. I'm sorry. It didn't even pop up. It didn't even let me. I know when I'm at home and at the command center, it lets me approve them, so I apologize. Maybe you could put the name of the YouTube channel without any link, and people could just search it. Hey there, Jade. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. No worries. Again, you know, free to chat, free to not chat. If you would just want to watch, that's also cool. Outside of a nuclear plant, that would be interesting too. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, I've heard that something about that where supposedly they're watching the nuclear plants. Yeah, again, I would love to make the Pennsylvania. The military uses it as a landmark. I guess that would be something that'd be easy to see the big cooling towers or whatever. Hey there, Steve. How you doing, man? Good to have you here. Y'all know Steve. I worked with him when I was in California, when we were in the Bay Area there in Hayward, which I just saw a documentary on a punk club that used to be in Hayward. I don't think it's actually even still open. Yeah, there's a lot of different interesting areas. Some places in Nevada, some places in Colorado. There's some places in Indiana and Ohio that have some weird conspiracies about UFOs. And so, you know, I might start doing a few videos here and there about stuff like that too, just to sort of mix things up a little bit. I feel like it falls within the adventure travel category just a little bit. I could see, if there was some sort of extraterrestrial presence somewhere where they might be interested in the UFO stuff. Or not the UFO stuff, excuse me, the nuclear plants. I mean, I guess that is a fairly big deal when it comes to our modern civilization and how we've progressed over the years. I mean, that's a big step to go from a non-nuclear society to a nuclear society. So who knows, maybe there's somebody out there that's studying us. If there's some ET scientist out there who want to watch our development, then I would assume that would be a big part of it as we expand our knowledge and learn to harness new types of energy. That would probably be a part of it. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff even on the news, and obviously the military has released records and pretty much admitted that they also believe in UFOs, and a lot of the pilots that in the military that have seen them have said that they don't think that there's any type of aircraft here on Earth that can mimic that sort of flight. So clearly there's something real about it. Hey there, Anthony. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us here tonight. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I definitely don't think whatever it is that people are seeing are from another country. I don't think it's some weird technology that people have figured out. So, Hey there, Matthew. I think the thing that gets me when I see a lot of the videos, especially the stuff that's been declassified and released by the military itself, is the fact that a lot of them are defying the laws of physics and types of flight that currently would cause a lot of harm to human beings. Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, glad you got the chance to join us here tonight. ET's been playing with our DNA for thousands. That's a scary thought. Maybe it's a scary thought. I guess if they know more than us, then maybe it's cool. Maybe they're the reason that we're sentient beings that can question our own existence. I don't really know. Yeah, actually, I didn't know I was going to find the canal lock. And then I was driving down a random road and looked over and saw it and turned around, and it turned out to be something really cool. For some reason, I don't think it popped up again, Snowy. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, the iPhone app is just a little bit different. You can try again if you want. I'm definitely not rejecting it. It's not me. Thanks for joining us, Cindy. You have a great night. Am I planning to do any new mausoleum videos? Yeah, I'm going to try and do some tomorrow, actually. Appreciate you being here, Sandra. Thank you. So yeah, I'm hoping to do at least a couple locations tomorrow that should have some old historic mausoleums in them, and then maybe when I head to Indy as well. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to mix things up too. I don't want the channel to be only mausoleums. I don't want the channel to be only cemeteries. When I travel, I like to go to a lot of different types of places, and although I don't mind being the guy that goes to cemeteries sometimes, I don't want to be known as the cemetery tour channel. That's definitely not what I'm trying to be. I am trying to be more of an adventure travel, sort of alternative travel channel. So I definitely want people to understand and also to have a wide variety of different topics on the channel. Oh wow, he disappeared after he saw a UFO. That's sad and pretty incredible too. That's weird. Yeah, well, generally it will ask me for permission with the links, but again, with the YouTube or the YouTube app on my iPhone, I guess it just doesn't ask for permission anymore. It just rejects them right out. So, many apologies. Thanks, Anthony. Tippecanoe was a lot of fun. I want to go back that way. I think there's a few things that I missed. Well, I know there's a few things I missed that I'd really like to get to. And so I'm hoping to get back that way pretty soon. I've been to one asylum, and I've been to some buildings that were considered haunted. I've also been to some other haunted locations, a few haunted bridges. I did have a crazy experience at a haunted bridge where I didn't hear anything while I was there, but if you listen to the actual video, there's a weird. It sounds like somebody runs up behind and smacks the back of my car, and I didn't actually hear it while I was there. Freedom of Information Act. That would be a interesting thing to try. I don't know how that would work with a top secret organization or a military organization. I don't really know how that works. I know a little bit about Freedom of Information requests, but I don't really know how that works with the military. I think if it's a certain level of top secret, it's still top secret. Yeah, I don't know if YouTube's scanning for channel names now, but for whatever reason, it's not even popping up. So yeah, I apologize, but yeah, I don't know why it's not allowing you to put a channel name up. The only other thing I could say, one more thing you could try is to try doing it with spaces in between the letters. You know, sorry you have to sort of hack it in there, but yeah, I don't know why it's not allowing you to put it in the chat. It's literally never popping up. I can see when you're saying you're about to do it, but then as soon as you do it, there's no message. Yeah, well, but some things are classified even after you ask. That was the unfortunate part. Yeah. I used to have a security clearance when I was working in information technology. I'm sure it's expired by now. I don't know really what I can't remember what level of security clearance I had. They still hid everything from me, but I worked in like this weird little space agency. Not temporarily. Like, it's not, I can say that. It's not, I'm not going to divulge the name of the company, but they were a space agency of sorts. Hey there, Kenneth. Great to have you here. But yeah, to even enter the building, I had to do a background check, get a security clearance. Oh, my battery's done. All right, my charging is complete for the night. But yeah, so for at least a couple years, I had a certain degree of security clearance. I'll have to look and see if it actually tells me on the paperwork sometime. Let me check. No, unless anybody else is singing. If anybody else wants to say that they're seeing the snowy... I don't even know how that's doing that. That's weird. I see okay, and then I see did that show. So, yeah, apologies. I don't really know. I'm really sorry. I am not doing that, I promise. That is not me. Um, shoot. I don't know what you could do at this point. Apparently, YouTube is not allowing comments that show other channel names. So, that's crazy. Apparently, the algorithm is getting pretty complicated. In Ferndale, California. Yeah, well, maybe I'll have to check it out the next time I'm out in Cali. That showed up, Snowy. I just saw that. Yeah, if anybody wants to check it out. So, at least something's working. But yeah, that's crazy that it caught that and actually eliminated it, especially without asking me. I thought at one point the app actually would pop up and allow me to approve comments, but apparently it's not now. I thought when I was on a live stream either in California or I can't remember if I did the live stream in the California hotel or if it was when I was live streaming from the Vegas Strip. I know at some point I thought I had approved comments on the app as well, but maybe I'm just not remembering it correctly. Who knows? But I really don't mind as long as people aren't trying to like only do self-advertising. I understand with that it's not exactly just self-advertising. It's just an interesting subject that people want to see. So I really don't mind so much. So yeah, maybe the app's changed recently and been updated, and I just didn't really realize it. Dead for 22 hours. How does that work? I think the brain starts to decay after like so many minutes. Which one? I saw both the podcast UFO Watch at Papo Cape Petty, Papo Pacetti. Oh, Papo Ketty, and WD Livestream Live. So if that's it, then that's what I saw. So yeah, it appears like everything's fine, unless you put more messages than that, and then I don't know. Because yeah, for whatever reason, some things are just not showing up. At Nellis in Nevada. Yeah, I think Nellis is technically in that part of Area 51 technically. Or am I thinking of the wrong? Maybe I'm thinking of Groom Lake. I can't remember. I don't really remember what all is what. Let's just not say anything that's going to get the CIA to spy on me. I don't need any more issues with YouTube. The algorithm is bad enough. But there has been some... I have been wanting to contact a few people and try to get into some places which are... I think they're technically classified to a certain degree, but they're not. They're like abandoned military locations that technically aren't really off limits. They're just like places that people used to live when they were stationed at certain bases in the military. Night, Venna. Thanks for joining us tonight. Jess. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you here. So yeah, I have a few contacts Not that obviously they're not giving me classified information, but I do have a few contacts that are in the military, high level military, and I've been thinking about contacting them and seeing if maybe they can get permission for me to be admitted to different places. So I'm not really sure if it's going to work. I don't really know what the rules and regulations are when it comes to that type of stuff. So there is I think it's a town in Nevada, and it's mostly abandoned. There's a lot of buildings there. There's like an old movie theater. There's houses where people used to live. And technically it's still on the other side of the line. It's on the other side of the big fence or the border or whatever, and technically off limits, but at the same time it's not really like top secret or anything like that. The population there is a lot lower now, and so a lot of the buildings are just completely empty, and I'd like to see if maybe I can go and get a tour of that town, but I'm not really sure if I don't really know the ins and outs of whether or not it's going to be possible. But if it is, I'm definitely going to try and do it. I don't see why not. It just seems to me like it's just a town. It's not like you're seeing any top secret information. It's not like you're seeing anything that they don't really want you to see. Again, like I said, there's movie theaters, there's businesses, and it's just a regular town. But at the same time, it was a top secret town that was only for military personnel. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to go there and check it out. Yeah. Well, the person I'm going to ask is pretty far up there. I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to say their rank and the position, but if anybody could get me permission to go there, they might be able to. So Mothman, well, that would be an interesting one too. Mardi Gras? No, I'm not going to be going to Mardi Gras. I wouldn't mind going at some point. That'd be fun. I'd love to check it out. But I have no plans at this point to go to Mardi Gras. Not this year, anyway. Maybe next year. Who knows? Maybe I can get maybe one of the other YouTube friends of mine to meet me down in Louisiana and do a Mardi Gras vlog. I don't know. But I'd be down for almost anything, especially here on the second channel. I'm not sure if Mardi Gras would really fit into the 539 Productions model, but you never know, I guess. I just don't know if people on that channel would, at least a lot of people. Certain videos do really well, certain types of videos just don't do so well. So I'm trying to keep it sort of an adventure travel series, like I said, sort of a backroad series, or uncommon things, stuff that's hidden, things like that. Right on. Yeah, if anybody wants to check out my Facebook page, check over there, and you can see the link over there. So yeah, kind of strange. Some of the chat messages are just not showing up. I don't really know why. Yeah, there's some really interesting old graveyards and cemeteries in Louisiana. Some of them are off limits now, unfortunately. I know there's one I really wanted to go to, and then I found out you have to have special permission to go there now. Well, I appreciate that, Valerie. Yeah, there is a lot of people on the YouTube channel that sort of get irritated by the fact that I talk about people coming around and spying on me and trying to intimidate me and doing a lot of different really weird things, and some people think that I'm sort of just making it up in my head, and it's really not the case. I think the upcoming video that hasn't been released yet will sort of prove to everyone, I feel like, that it's not something I'm just making up. And there was a lot bigger of an interaction. No one talked to me once again, but you can tell 100% that somebody is just there to mess with me, and that's the only reason that they're there. And so that'll be coming out. It might be the next video coming out. I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be coming out obviously on the 539 Productions channel, so we'll see what happens in terms of the order of events. But yeah, there are definitely people being really strange, and a lot of people that have been checking up on me. Thanks, Reverend, for joining us tonight. Hope you have a great night. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, I'm always being careful. I'm always on the lookout. I always have, different means of protecting myself. I'm always ready to call somebody if I need to. And obviously, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. But one of the biggest things to protect myself is the camera. People don't want to do stuff on camera. They don't know if they're live. They don't know if they're recording. They don't really know what they are. As soon as people see cameras, I've noticed that they sort of tone things down a bit. So I always try to keep a camera on people when they're acting kind of weird. But especially in the last video that came out at the canal, and then all the videos that I filmed that day, I had some sort of weird interaction with people. So, and that was a mediocre one. The one that I'm about to release is it's a lot more in your face type of interaction. So yeah, I can't complain in some ways because it does make interesting content. So I mean, I guess I should thank them for helping make the channel interesting, but at the same time, it is sort of irritating to a certain degree, because it's like, why are you here? Why do you feel the need to check on me? Or sometimes not just checking on me. Like I said, the one coming up, they're just literally messing with me. They came around several different times. They were there for me. They were there, I don't know, I guess you would just say they were there to intimidate me. But they were not just there to make sure that everything was okay. It was not somebody acting as security. It was not somebody making sure that I wasn't vandalizing. It was literally someone that was there to mess with me. And yeah. And I got it all on camera. All the weird things that they did. And so you guys will all be able to check it out and see what happened. And again, it'll really kind of cement that fact that I'm not paranoid. Things are definitely happening. Yeah, that's a good idea, Kyle. I actually do have a dash cam a lot of times. I have a GoPro and I have a mount right up on my windshield. I have it mounted a lot of times. Sometimes it's running while I'm exploring, sometimes it's not. Obviously my battery doesn't last forever and the memory card doesn't last forever, so sometimes I leave it running, sometimes I don't. Yeah, I'm going to try to release that episode next. Like I said, it's quite telling. There's no way to argue with it. Like I said, a lot of people on the channel sort of argue with me, and they're like, please stop talking about all these other people. You're just being paranoid. There's no one watching you. There's no one that cares about you. They're just there visiting. They're just driving around, and it's like, really, you're looking at some of these things that these people do, where like in older videos even, where they've sort of stopped in the middle of the street and just stayed there, and then went 10 feet and then stopped again and stayed there, and then went another 10 feet and stopped again. It's like, you don't think that they're trying to intimidate me, but this one is, there's no arguing. There's literally no arguing. Crime Stoppers. Yeah. I'm not trying to start an investigation, I guess, but thanks for joining us, Glenn. Good night. Snowy was trying to leave it on YouTube, but it wasn't working. Hey there, Andrew. Yeah, yeah, New Zealand's another one that I would love to go to. I really always wanted. I mean, first of all, it's just an amazing country, and then secondly, Lord of the Rings. I'm sure that's probably something that you're probably tired of hearing people talk about, but I've always wanted to go down there and see the set, whatever's left of the Hobbiton set. Yeah, you better behave yourself, Agnes. No, I'm just kidding. You're doing fine. Thank you, Jess. Yeah, a lot of people, they come on YouTube and they think they're experts at everything, and they watch your video and they get this small little portion of your life, and they think that they can really tell you exactly what's going on and why you're wrong, and, it is what it is. I don't take it to heart too much, though. You got timed out? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I tried to turn it on so that no one gets timed out, but it sometimes YouTube just has a mind of its own. It does whatever the hell it wants. So yeah, that's exactly right, Kyle. And that's the weird thing too. It's just like, especially in the old graveyards, especially in the ones that have somewhat of a newer graves and whatnot. It's like, why wouldn't you expect people to be there at some point? There's roads there for a reason. There's places to park there for a reason. It's there specifically so that people can visit. They were built for the reason so that people could visit. That's the whole reasoning behind them. Otherwise, they never would have been invented in the first place. It's one of the things that defines us as a species, that we take care and honor our dead. And so to think that no one would ever visit without any sort of nefarious sort of reasoning is literally ridiculous. Yeah, I try not to use any sort of bad language on YouTube. YouTube scans for it anyway, but at the same time, I don't like to fill things with. I like everybody to feel comfortable. I'm not sort of, in my own personal life, always family friendly. I don't necessarily find it wrong to use language like that. But at the same time, I want everybody to be comfortable, and I want everybody to enjoy watching the videos, and I also have a problem with people who only use that type of language and use it so much that it's like an extra adjective in every sentence, and so I just try to sort of keep it neutral to a certain degree. El Palon, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I would love to come to New Zealand. I will at some point, but I'm sure it would cost me quite a bit at this point to get there. But yeah, I do have plans in the future at some point to come to New Zealand. Beautiful country, absolutely beautiful, and yeah, very safe place. A PAO for access? We'll see. We'll see. I lost track of what I was saying. But yeah, I appreciate you all joining me here tonight. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me here in the hotel room. I appreciate that. I'm glad it's actually showing up somewhat as blue. From my vantage point, it looks mostly black, but in real life, there is a hint of blue in there, I promise. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It looks pretty cool. And it did a lot better than the last time. I did the slightly less blue, but still dark blue. It faded really quickly. It faded really quickly at certain points, but not everywhere. Certain points were really dark, and then certain points were like incredibly faded. The last one, yeah, I really enjoyed that one too. This one is technically blue too. It's like a, what was it called? It was indigo blue. That's right. So, but yeah, the dye was terrible though, or the coloring. I guess it's technically coloring. I've been corrected by hair people a couple times and told that you don't dye your hair, you dye clothing, and you color hair. So I don't know. That's just what I've been told. So, yeah. I used. I can't remember the name of the hair color that I used the last time. It was sort of the whatever that really popular hot topic hair dye is, hair color is. Hey there, Jake. I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for joining us. This last stuff I just got from Walgreens. Actually, the last two I got from Walgreens. I don't think it was the Manic Panic. There's another one. I have used Manic Panic before. Shoot, I wish I could look it up on my phone, but I can't right now because I'm live streaming and it will literally pause the live stream. Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't. I should know that. I know a little bit of Spanish, but not. I'm not great at it, but I'm not terrible at it. So, I probably should have known, but I did not realize that. I guess that makes sense because it isn't palo is hair. So Palon is without hair or bald. Yeah, I guess when I was talking about New Zealand and getting, I was talking more about getting there, like about plane flights or whatever stuff like that. I'm sure it's not bad staying there. The river is neat. Oh, thank you. Oh, try the hair dye or hair color. I guess I keep saying hair dye. I guess it is color. Again, I don't really know, but it is what it is. Wow, we've been going for 83 minutes now. I appreciate you all being here for so long, and thank you all for the thumbs up. We've been getting a slightly bigger audience lately. New Jersey, I would love to make it in New Jersey as well. I've been out to the area before. I've never really done any filming over in New Jersey. I've been to New Jersey, to New York, to Pennsylvania, all states that I've been to that I know that I need to go back to and do some filming in, but we'll get there eventually. Oh, sorry, I missed the, oh, hold on. I think I'm missing comments. People are sending me translations of stuff. Hey, Debbie, thanks for joining us. Yeah, having a lot of fun in Ohio. Congressional in DC. I've been to DC as well. It'd be interesting to do some stuff in DC. Yeah, I need to. Florida's another one. I've been to Florida, had a lot of fun adventures in Florida. Traveled all throughout the state in Florida, from northern Florida all the way down through the Keys, and that's been some time ago, and I would love to make it back and actually doing some filming there. And of course, the guys from Urban Ghost, Urban Exploration are from Florida, so I'd love to get down there and see them in their home state and not just meet them places. I think I would get demonetized if I did anything P related on any graves, but yeah, I'll leave that for your fine hands to do. YouTube is not probably pee friendly. But I do understand the disdain for the political type. Well, we'll just leave it there. I don't want to hurt any feelings, but yeah, I can understand the frustrations. Oh yeah, that was crazy because they were in the news recently. The Magic Mountains, kind of a tragic news story too. If you look it up, they apparently found a dead body there that had been burnt. If you have the right politics, I don't know. I don't think YouTube would allow it, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. I think that would be an instant demonetization. Excuse me. He was buried in a chiffon gown. I guess rich people, right? They got some crazy stuff. Yeah, it kind of makes me a little bit afraid. Because we were out there at the dead of night, and it was a little bit creepy with all the Joshua trees out there. They all look like people. Well, not obviously they don't look like people, but in the dark, when your flashlight's just barely touching the edge of one, you kind of jerk your head to the side every once in a while because it looks like there's a person standing there. And we saw some weird stuff a lot of the places. Obviously, we got patrolled by the helicopters, and there was a few times it sounded like people were driving either off-road vehicles, like a four-wheeler or something like that. Yeah, if you haven't seen any of the Nevada videos, go check them out. We literally there was like a helicopter patrol, and it went over the top of us, and then you visibly saw one of the helicopters turned around and came back to exactly where we were and circled several times to check us out. I don't know if they were military helicopters. I don't know if they were police helicopters. I would assume that if they were police helicopters, there would probably only be one of them. So I really don't know 100% what it was, but we'll see. Well, I guess we won't see. I have no idea. Need anything for my adventures? Don't really need anything, just always looking for cool suggestions, but always appreciate you guys' input, and definitely we'll be trying to do more types of locations here in the future. But yeah, I appreciate all the comments and questions, and again, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for the thumbs up here. Seems like this channel is starting to do better and better, and we'll be doing a lot more types of content over here, including, like I said, bringing back the podcast here shortly. Hopefully doing some tattoo streams, hopefully doing some piercing streams, and hopefully doing some interview streams with some people. Jefferson Barracks. I think, yeah, that would be interesting. I might be heading down that way at some point here. Like I said, when I head out to Cali and Nevada next, I'm going to be doing the Route 66 route instead of doing the I-80. So, thank you, Juanita. Yeah, very much. I appreciate all that. At some point, I would like to do some more like meetups here. Obviously, it's a little bit rough because, you know, some people are in the area and some people are not in the area. And we did the meet and greet with Urban Ghost Urban Exploration while we were in Alabama, and had a pretty good turnout. had a couple people turn out that were there to meet me, which is really cool. I'm glad that there was some people out there that actually came out to meet. I mean, obviously, it was really cool that they came out to meet the guys too. I mean, amazing guys. Todd was really cool too from Holy Walkers, and had a lot of fun hanging out with them, a lot of fun working with them, and definitely would love to do it again in the future. So, you know, and obviously, if someone for whatever reason sees me out there on the street, make sure to come up and say hi. I'm a friendly guy. I'm approachable. I'd love to talk to anybody. From New England, Rome, Proctorville. I'll have to check that out. Cool, Snowy. Yeah. Feel free to post that whenever. Yeah, I always love the cool statues. Any type of artwork like that is really interesting. Sorry, again, I know I'm staring at this side of my screen. Hope it doesn't look too weird. The Lincoln Highway. I've done some videos from the Lincoln Highway. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, don't be afraid to approach me. You know, I understand a lot of people. A lot of people have seen me on the road, and so that, like I said, you know, obviously it's fine just to wave. I don't expect people to turn around and follow me. You know, I understand that completely. But I've had some people that like seem to know me. Actually, I didn't even tell you guys. I don't think I said anything in the last live stream, but what was it? December 26th. We were out eating at a steakhouse, and the people in front of me, I'm almost positive they knew me, and they didn't say anything. It was a family. It was 2 adults and 2 younger kids, and the kids turned around and looked at me, and then like immediately like looked at their parents and like did like this so they'd come down, and they started whispering in their ear, and like even the parents turned around, they were like looking at me, and it was like all my tattoos were covered up, like and I had a hat on, so all my piercings were covered up. So it's not like they were like, oh look, he has tattoos or he has piercings or anything like that. Nothing about me looked out of the ordinary. So I knew that they knew me from somewhere, but they had I had no idea who they were, and I knew I'd never met them before. And obviously, just the way that they were acting, I knew that something was up. And it continued on for like over 5 minutes. Like they would sort of talk to each other for a while, and then the kids would look back, and then they'd whisper to each other or whisper to their parents again, and it was like, you guys have to know me. But it was like, I'm not gonna like go up to them and be like, oh, so you know me, you know, like, do you guys want a picture? You know, I'm not gonna initiate, obviously. I don't want to like assume, you know, that people know me. But you know, if you guys know me, if you see me for some reason, you know, make sure to say something. I promise I won't be mad. So, you know, but yeah, they knew me. I know they had to know me. There was no other reason for them to do that. In a house mausoleum. I've seen some interesting ones where they're like 2-story mausoleums. I always found those to be kind of cool. I want to visit one here soon. I actually want to visit, there's one that's an underground mausoleum too. In my palm, it's the earth. So, North America, South America. It's just that, it's like a mantra, you know, that old saying, keep the world in the palm of your hand. It's sort of just like a power statement to encourage myself to go out there and conquer things and do my best and live my best life. That's really it. I just thought it was kind of cool. I thought, one day I was like, I really liked the idea of having my palm tattooed, and I was like, well, what would I really want to have, though? I don't want to just get something random. And then I remembered that old saying, keep the world in the palm of your hand, or, that person has the world in the palm of their hand. It's sort of like a power statement. I was like, well, how cool would that be? Just sort of visualize that in my actual palm. So I decided to put the world in the palm of my hand, to have your grasp on the world. Don't let the world have its grasp on you. Don't fall into the mold. Don't decide to do things, status quo. Do what you want, live your life the way you want, and be who you want to be. And that's what it means. So yeah, it's my favorite tattoo, honestly. So yeah, that's that. And then I have my punk rock tattoos. I have my Green Day tattoo. And then I have my tattoo that I'm getting covered up. My old tribal symbol that I don't really like anymore. Canadian war cemeteries. I would love to do some stuff in Canada. Fort Lincoln. Wow, 4 stories. Wow, I'm gonna have to look that up. Excuse me, I lost the ability to talk there for a minute. I would love to do the West Coast tour like that. I'm hoping to sort of do that maybe this year, at least Highway 1. I know that's one of the big highways that it's supposed to be really amazing to take a road trip. I'm not sure where that one starts. Maybe that's what you did too. But I'm really hoping to make it back out that way and travel down Highway 1. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm always satisfied. I try to satisfy myself, especially, with my looks, with my style, with my job, with everything like that. I try to just make myself happy. I don't really try to put much. Obviously, I respect all of you and appreciate all of you for supporting me. But, like I said, I really, I put a lot of value in doing what I want to do to be happy in life. And so that's definitely what I live for. Not to be selfish, but to be happy with who I am. Highway 101. Is that it? Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Fort Riley, Kansas. Oh, the only survivor of the Custer. Wow, that would be a crazy one. Yeah, there's some interesting and controversial parts of the U.S. history that I do touch on subjects like that. Yeah, lots of locations that I'm going to have to check out. I appreciate the suggestions. Awesome, Snowy. Yeah, if anybody wants to check that out, check out my Facebook page, which is also just 539 Productions. In St. Augustine, I don't think I have. I'll have to look that up as well. Coachella Trail. So there's a trail with the same name as the music festival. It's interesting. Or maybe that's just a place, and I didn't really realize it. I don't really know much about the Well, I guess I just don't really know a whole lot about California, just as much as I could learn from friends and people that have been there, and different videos and things that I've looked up online. But obviously, I'm no expert. Oh, that's your email. Okay, so this I'll probably never be able to remember. I'm not great at remembering names, especially email addresses. So, if you wouldn't mind, like, shoot me an email over at 539productions@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to get back with you. I'm always looking for people to get me into places that are, um, either off limits, or can get me special access, or show me around different places that, where something about the location that obviously I couldn't learn from just going there by myself. So, yeah, I don't know if I can screenshot right now. That's the only thing, and I'm afraid I'm gonna end up forgetting the email address and never be able to get a hold of you. Wilhelm in Portland. Yeah, I'll have to look that up too. Yeah, again, I apologize, and like I said, I'm bad at names, but I'll try and remember some of these and look them up. I've heard of Cruise America. I would love to do that, but I don't like the idea of having to drive an RV. Someday I would love to have somebody with me that maybe likes driving RVs and would be willing to drive it while I maybe filmed for the both of us. So I have been looking for like a smaller sort of camper thing to maybe pull behind the Focus. I'm going to be starting to, I kind of had to delay the modifications and fix-ups to the Focus, but I am going to be start doing that hopefully when I get back from this trip. I'm on the TV. Well, that's awesome. I like it when people watch me on the bigger formats like the smart TVs. I think that's cool. And the sound's better, especially with the videos. Oh, the first male hung in the witch trials. That's crazy. Yeah, that was kind of a sad point in our history. Thank you. I appreciate that, El Pilan. Say hi. Like, say hi, girl in the curl. North of Oceanside, California. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I do a lot, like I said, I do a lot of graveyards. A lot of them, I try to make them sort of either historic or otherwise stand out. I don't do every single type of cemetery, but I do a lot of them. Yeah, I'm kind of looking for something that it wouldn't be hard to tow, but yet I could stay for a little bit cheaper in locations. I don't mind the idea of camping. I have camped a decent amount, not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot, but I do love camping a lot. And there's a lot of places in the country where it's free to camp, and there's a lot of places where it's cheap to camp. And I think it'd be interesting to have sort of a home on the road where, it kind of makes it really comfortable too, I feel like, where it's like, you're still going home at the end of the night, but your home just happens to be in a lot of different places. So I kind of like that idea. And so in the future, I think that'd be an interesting way to make videos and an interesting way to make live streams. I think camping live streams would be a lot of fun. And different from what we've done before. I've never done anything like that. I have I wouldn't say tried, but I've tried to plan things out, and it didn't end up working out. I know a few places that are kind of local to me that allow free camping, and so I was going to go out there and set up a tent and do some live streams from there, and some exploring, some filming from there. But it was just sort of crowded and not really a fun place for a stream. Houdini's grave? That would be an interesting one. More room in life than I'm sure he does. Yeah, all the strange contraptions that he locked himself in and chains and whatnot. Oh yeah, I do know the teardrop trailers. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. Yeah, something like that would be cool. I wouldn't mind doing like a fixer-upper or something like that, where I could sort of modify it, paint it, add whatever gadgets or what I wanted to it, and sort of make it my own creation, just like I'm going to make the car. Like I've said a couple times on the live streams, my sort of dream ride is not very expensive, but I'm still sort of working towards it. And in the meantime, I sort of have, and I guess in a way, fallen in love with the Focus, and I'd like to fix it up and modify it a bit. Obviously, as some of you know, I used to be in a car club a while ago, and I was into modification, and I had a really nice car that I had lowered and put brand new rims on it and modified the engine, and had all kinds of stuff done to it, and it was pretty nice, and I was really proud of the job that I had done to it, and I ended up losing the car just because the engine and the transmission on that model just were not good, and they kept failing on me, and so I just finally couldn't afford it anymore. I was on my third transmission and my second engine, and by that point I was just fed up, and it was like, we got to put an end to this. And so since then I really haven't been able to afford to do a bunch of modifications on the new car, and so I've been sort of sad that I haven't fulfilled that part of my life that's really a big part of, I feel like, who I am and what I'm into. And I've always loved cars, and I've always loved custom cars, and so I'd like to definitely get back to that. Franco's mausoleum in Spain? No, I've never heard of that. And I've never been to Spain. I haven't done a lot of international travel though either, so. It was a Pontiac, which is probably why they're not around anymore. I wish it was a BMW. At least I would have that pride of saying at least I got rid of a BMW, or had a BMW at one point. LC? Sounds like Lieutenant Colonel. Isn't that a military position? It might be a military grave. I find a lot of Civil War soldiers that only have the provided military markers and don't have their own private marker. A lot of times they won't say the name, they won't say the date. Sometimes they'll say the name and their position, but it might be something like that. I don't know. Motel 6. Are they the ones that always keep the light on for you, or is that Super 8? I've always tried to stay in cheaper hotels. The one I'm in now is a Hampton Inn. It's not cheap, but I've grown sort of a little bit of disdain for franchise motels, because there's no way to tell if it's going to be really amazing or really terrible. All right, yeah, if you guys want to check out that link on my 539 Facebook page, make sure you check that out. Again, facebook.com/539productions. That's my, I guess, fan page. So check it out if you want to check out some cool live streams, cool UFO stuff, for that link. And also, if you've never checked out my Facebook page, make sure you go over there and give it a follow. I post a lot of my Instagram work over to Facebook as well, so if you're on... Okay. I thought for a moment I had been screwing up the entire time and I've been looking at the wrong side of the phone for the camera, but we're cool. But anyway, if you are on Facebook but you're not on Instagram, I post most of my Instagram work over to the Facebook page automatically. So if you do have a Facebook account and you want to check out some of the still photography that I do, other than the videos that I do over on YouTube and the live streams that we do here on this channel, make sure to check out the Facebook page. Again, facebook.com/539productions, and you can see a lot of the Instagram work. So again, to those of you that don't know, I was a still photographer long before I did any sort of video type work, and so I feel like even though I'm really proud of the content that I have posted up on 539 Productions and this channel as well, back when I was still doing the full episodes, and again, I will be doing them again. I am still getting to that, but I do feel like still photography is still my forte. It's still the thing that I do best, and the thing that I've always loved doing. So make sure you check some of that out. A Toyota Sierra, maybe, and I've even thought about like the camper vans and whatnot. I thought that'd be kind of cool, but here's what I'll say to that. I think it's really awesome. I really respect the people that do that. For me personally, I've always had an obsession with cars, and I don't like being high off the road. I have driven SUVs. I had a Ford Explorer for a while, and it wasn't necessarily a bad vehicle to drive, but at the same time, I feel so high off the road, and it's just not me. Like, maybe it's just because I'm a short person. I really don't know. But I've always just loved cars, and I've loved that feeling of being low to the road. And even like I said, when I had my Pontiac, I lowered it. That was one of the first things I did to the car, was to lower it. And I've always loved lowriders, and so it's one of those things that I've always sort of wanted. And yeah, so I love the idea. I think it's a great idea. But I think I would probably veer towards just getting a car that I could, or getting something that I could tow behind the car, so that I could continue to modify my car. So, but I think that's a great idea, though. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I really like when you guys, let me know, and not to be, how do I say it, not to brag or anything like that, but it really does mean a lot to me, seeing that you guys love the work that I'm doing and enjoy watching all of the adventures that I put up on YouTube. So thank you all very much. I appreciate that, Lisa. Highway 63. Become a sailor on the road. I'll have a wind-powered car. They do have what was that? I don't know where I saw that. Maybe it was in a video on Salt Lake City on the Salt Flats, where they did the land sales. No, I think you're right on the model. Yeah, I think the Sierra is correct, yeah. WRX, that would be interesting. Yeah. Got the all-wheel drive. And the amazing sounding four-cylinder, because they are not an inline four like most four cylinders. They are an opposed four. So they have two cylinders pointing in opposite directions, and they have a really unique sounding exhaust too. Thank you, P. Ray D. Ray. And thank you, Kyle. Yeah, I'm really excited to share everything with you. There's so many crazy videos coming. We got 7 unreleased videos right now, and by tomorrow we should have between 10 and 14. So just depending on how the day goes. Hopefully it doesn't start raining early. Thank you, Jess. Appreciate that. Hope you have a really wonderful night as well. Thanks for joining us here. Yeah, we're going to some bigger locations tomorrow, and I'm hoping to make a couple of them into several part series, and then we're going to go to also a couple of smaller locations, and I might actually return to 1 or 2 locations. There's some weird stuff that I found at one location, and I really want to get back there and try and film at it. And another location, I need to sort of complete a part of it, and I think I know where I have to go to complete it, so I'm going to try and head back to that too. But I've got about 4 or 5 locations that I'm going to be hitting up, not including the ones that I'm returning to. So if I can hit the total 5 locations of new locations at least, then I should probably have at least 8 more episodes. So I think it'll be really cool. And a lot of them are very historic. A lot of them have some incredibly unique stuff in them. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there and seeing what we can find, and getting that on film for you guys. So that will put us quite a bit ahead of time, and also give me a lot of time to do more live streams like this, to do more live streams where we sort of go out and go hiking in the woods, and maybe even some brand new content. I've even thought about maybe doing some stuff where we go out there and work on the car a little bit as I do sort of these modifications that I keep talking about, to sort of demonstrate that on this channel here, and give you guys sort of behind the scenes as I fix it up and do the things that I want to do. So that's another idea for this channel, is to take you guys on that journey as I make my focus into something completely different looking than any other focus. I've got a lot of ideas that I'm going to be doing. Obviously I'll probably be lowering it. If I could get the chance and it's not incredibly expensive, maybe I could find maybe like a mechanic shop or somebody that works on cars for a living in some aspect. I want to put it on air so that I can have an adjustable ride height. So maybe looking for somebody that would be into doing like a collaboration of some sort. Obviously, not to say I wouldn't pay for it, but to maybe work something out, as it were. So who knows? I'm an old soul. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, okay. You sent the email. Awesome. I will check that after I get off the live stream here. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, I try not to brag a lot, but I obviously I am very proud of what I've accomplished. I like my own work. I like my own photography. I don't. Obviously, I'm not. There are episodes that are better than others, and I know that, and I know that you guys know that. And so a lot of things I'm incredibly proud of. Some things are okay, and yeah, I mean, but at the same time, yeah, I really, I know that I'm not, how do I put it? I know that I'm not the worst YouTuber out there, and I know that I put a lot of hard work into it. No problem, Anthony. Read the headstones better. Yeah, some of them are hard to read. And obviously I can't put them all on film, otherwise, again, the episodes would be like 2 hours apiece. Can't remember. Did I say goodnight to Jess? I think I did. Yeah, good night, and thank you very much. But yeah. If I can humble brag, yeah, I am proud of what I've accomplished. And I'd like to continue creating in many different aspects for many years to come. And I'm always looking to expand and to share some other forms of creativity with y'all that I'm also proud of. Oh, yeah, I had some issues with my Pontiac back in the day. I hit some speed bumps that I probably shouldn't have. That's why I want to put it on air, so that I can raise it up when I hit the speed bumps. But yeah, when you do springs, that's when you run into issues. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, so I mean, if you can afford it and if it works out for you, if you're not doing, a setup where you're just going for speed, where you're not looking to add a heavy compressor to the back of your vehicle, I think air is the way to go. For police interceptors, like the cars. Yeah, that would be fast. Or are you talking like the weird drones? I've heard there's police drones too now. Awesome, Snowy. Yeah, again, anybody that wants to check that out, make sure to head over to the Facebook page. And again, if you want to check out just the Facebook page. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they got the performance package on them that the stock vehicles, whatever they are, don't usually have on them, so they're a little bit faster. But, I mean, I don't know much about cars, but I feel like if I tried hard enough, I can make something. If I were to get the same car side by side, I feel like even without the Interceptor package, I can make a faster car than a police car. I don't know a heck of a lot, but I know enough that I've made some decently quick cars. And I've worked on some decently quick cars. Back when I was in my car club, I helped install some turbo kits and things like that, so I know about rewiring computers and adding, sorry, my TV's on in the room, so I got distracted there for a second. Adventurer's hat. I have the Hunter's, the Hunter's orange cap. Thanks for joining us, Snowy. You have a great night. Enough to be dangerous. Possibly, yeah. I was always really good, though. I mean, not really good in the sense of always doing what I should have, but I was always a really good driver, though. Like, to this day, I've never been in a wreck. And I've avoided a few wrecks that weren't my fault, where people sort of either veered into my lane or they should have hit me, and I was able to get out of it, so... Oh, they come with warranties. Well, I mean, warranties are good, and then they're not in some ways. I don't like how constraining that is. If I want a car, I just want a car that I can do something to. I like to make it my own creation, so I do like the thought of having a warranty, but at the same time, I also want I don't want to be confined by that. So, I don't know. Maybe. Caitlin Doherty? No, I have not heard of her. I'll have to look that up. Ask a Mortician. Oh, I have heard of that channel, though. I have heard of that channel. I just saw it the other day for like the first time. I don't even remember why. But I think it got suggested to me when I was watching YouTube. A 98 Camaro. I guess they are fast. Yeah. I'm a fan of some Camaros. Some of the body styles, not as much as others. The newer ones are okay. Some of the 90s models I didn't care for, and then some of the other older models were cool. Yeah, what I really want now is a T-Rex. The reverse trike. They're fast, they're cool, they're not quite a motorcycle, not quite a car. I feel like they'd be great for an open-air travel vehicle. And I like them way better than slingshots. Although, in a certain sense, I would still get a slingshot if I could modify it in certain ways. Yeah, I'll make sure to check that out. Yeah, again, it has suggested a few of the videos. I can't remember what video it was that it suggested, but I do remember seeing that just the other day. They asked a Mortician. Excuse me. Now it's got me thinking. I really want to remember what video it was, but I cannot think of it for the life of me. Maybe it'll pop up again on my YouTube feed. Yeah, that would be a really interesting series. I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, incredibly unique. Wow, I didn't realize we passed the 2-hour mark. We'll stay on here for a little bit longer, and then I'll head out for the night because I don't want to stay up too late. I definitely want to have plenty of time tomorrow to get back out there on the road to do some more locations, and maybe even do, if I can make time for it, to do a live stream from a location on the road too. Especially if I make it back to this one location. It was like this incredible evergreen forest, incredibly dense, so dense I feel like it'd be really easy to get lost in, and I don't know how well the signal is at that particular spot, but if I can do a live stream from there, I think that'd be really awesome. It would be just the perfect location. So make sure to keep checking whatever way you check, whether it's on your YouTube notifications or on Instagram or whatever it is. I am going to try my best to do another live stream tomorrow. So oh, Matthew met Caitlin. That's interesting. Yeah, it's one of the things I love about YouTube is that there's just such a wide variety of subjects and wide variety of channels out there. And again, it's what kind of makes me sad about some of the new algorithm changes where it only promotes people that sort of not really make copycat videos, because I don't want to judge them for their own individual creativity. Obviously, some of the people that make these videos put their own twist on it, but again, it's like one of the current ones is, we ordered the whole menu at, or we let the person behind us choose what we order, or you know, there's just these string of videos that go out, and everybody makes their own spin on it, and those are the videos that always get on the trending list. And it always makes me sad that it's like all these people that put these all this hard work into making these crazy unique channels and these amazing videos, and YouTube promotes like box forts videos. It's like, how many box fort videos do we see? You know, there must have been 20 or 30 of them that made it to the trending list, and it's like, this is all you can suggest to people. It's like, come on, you know. Bye, Andrew. Thanks for joining us tonight at Mutter Museum. Oh wow, she must be big if she can book a museum. That's crazy. Good night. Oh, good night, El Palon. Yeah, I will check my my email. I almost said my amigo. That'd be interesting if I could find some ghosts in mausoleums. Carrie Northey. That's an interesting name. I have not heard of her either. I wanted to go to Humboldt when I was in Cali last. I actually had plans to do it, but my friend that I was staying with ended up not having time. He was busy with work, and so he had to run back and forth between work and hanging out, and so it was unfortunate, but we're supposed to make it out to that area the next time that I'm out there, and do some hiking up there, and hopefully do some of the I know there's a couple different, I know one was destroyed, but the trees where you can drive through the redwoods was one of the things that I wanted to do. So yeah, I will definitely be doing that at some point here. What time will the live stream tomorrow be? I'm not sure. I will try to put some sort of advanced warning out there, probably on Instagram. Oh, the oops. I froze? Oh no. Hope that it's not for everybody, but yeah, let me know if I guess if it's frozen, you wouldn't be able to let me know. But yeah, apologies for the issues. As far as I know, I'm full bars. It's not popping up that I'm having any issues. But yeah, as far as the notifications go, yeah, I've noticed some things that I haven't really cared for either. Okay, well, some people are having issues and some people aren't, so many apologies though if you're having issues on the stream. But yeah, I've noticed some people have told me that notifications aren't popping up right away. Sometimes they're not getting notifications for 24 hours. Yeah, it's frustrating. I don't really know what to do on it. Like I said, you know, I've tried, you know, contacting YouTube in the past, and they've sort of done everything possible to, I don't know. I've gone over that too many times before, but yeah, hopefully it gets fixed. We'll see what happens, but it's sort of a site-wide problem, though. I don't think it's just me, and so that may be why, you know, they're not doing so much about it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's just one of those issues that is out of my control at this point. Yeah, the only thing I can say is that I am always trying to do better and better on my other social media to warn people via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. I know I haven't really been on Twitter a whole lot, so I know if any of you out there have been tweeting at me and I haven't been responding, it's not because I'm trying to ignore you, it's because I am sort of just taking a break from Twitter altogether. It just I started having some issues with different things, I'm not going to go into it a whole lot, but I do forward a lot of things over to Twitter, so if anything gets posted on Instagram, I do forward it over to Twitter. Oh yeah, in India I did some, I did a cemetery there that had a lot of famous NASCAR graves or whatnot, or IndyCar graves. I mean, it was just, I think race cars in general. Yeah, I haven't been the biggest fan of Twitter lately, so. Yeah, luckily I haven't really had any problems with getting demonetized, so. Some of my videos do from time to time. It seems to be slightly less now. It seems to be a little bit better, and they usually are pretty quick to give me the manual review, so usually within a few hours it'll get remonetized again, so, you know. And the other part is, when it's not monetized, it's really not promoted by YouTube. They sort of combine the two to sort of protect themselves from the whole adpocalypse thing, where videos that were not monetizable but still considered to be sort of offensive or maybe getting out there anyway, and so they sort of connected the two programs, so if you weren't monetized, you're not being promoted at all. So sort of like this channel, since it's not monetized yet, it's not being promoted, and although we do pretty well on here still, it probably would do a lot better if I were monetized, and so I'll probably will monetize it here shortly, just to make sure that I'm getting promoted out there on the whatever the live pages are, I guess. I haven't really messed around with the live pages myself and watching, so yeah. It's one of those things that's in the future plans, so. Confederate graves? I guess if there were some, I wouldn't be against filming them. I wouldn't say that my personal beliefs lay in their direction, but in terms of historical stuff, I would definitely do it, but I don't think it would be demonetized just because it was Confederate. It is part of American history, so, you know, the Civil War was a big part of American history. I don't think that they would have a problem with that. It's really if you're promoting something that's considered to be, you know, controversial or offensive anyway. I think unfortunately Confederates have often forgot that too. But no, I get it though, yeah. And obviously every person had different reasons for doing different things, and some of them didn't have choices in during doing certain things, excuse me. So, you know, it is what it is, but yeah. But obviously, you know, when it comes to that part of history, it is a sad part of history, and slavery was a sad part of history, and something that I don't agree with, and you know, so I'm not going to shy over that subject. You know, and I'm not one of those people that, you know, will say, oh, it was a war about states' rights. It was definitely a war about slavery and about states' rights to own slaves, and I don't agree with that. And so, you know, but I know there were Southerners that fought in the war that didn't want to fight in the war, including many slaves that were forced to fight in the war. And so I don't think that everybody that fought as a Confederate was evil, you know, and I know that there were some people that fought and then later changed their minds about, you know, what they believed in. And So it is what it is. Again, it's a part of history. So you know, but again, I don't have any problem with filming stuff like that. And in fact, I have an episode that should be coming up here fairly soon that I haven't filmed it yet. I shouldn't say I have an episode, but I have intention to film a few Civil War places that sort of cross into that territory. So, yeah, it's not something that I'm afraid to film, though. I have no idea. I'm down to film almost anything, so, it just depends on the time, the situation, and the subject matter to a certain degree. So, yeah, well, I would take it to this point. If you're wondering what it's about, I would look up what the leadership has to say. There's a very famous letter from the vice president of the Confederacy who lays it out pretty clear what the war was about. So I'll leave that up to your own personal research. But from a leadership perspective, I would say it was definitely about slavery. From a personal perspective, yeah. And I think the same goes to this day. A lot of people fight for things that they don't necessarily know about or know what they believe in, or have misinformation, or feel sort of forced to go one way or the other. And so obviously you can't judge each individual by the overall picture. You have to judge everybody individually, and so that's just the way I would put it. But I would say definitely from a leadership perspective, I would never deny that a very large majority of the war was about the right to own slaves. But yeah, it is a very famous quote that the victors write the history, but at the same time, both sides in the American Civil War were pretty well documented, so we know what especially the leadership of both sides had to say, and so it's very clear if you just look at what they look at their opinions. You don't have to take my word for it. Just look at their own opinions. So again, like I said, there's some very, very, very clear letters from the vice president of the Confederacy. If you want to know what the Civil War was about, look at what he had to say. He's literally the second in command. If you look it up, you can find it very easily. And you'll find out very quickly what exactly the war was about to the leadership. And again, like I said, not every individual was involved in those decisions, and not every individual had a choice in those decisions. And so it's not to judge individuals that may have been pulled in without their own choice. But at the same time, we can definitely know what the people who started the war intended to start the war for. So thank you, Lisa. Well, I wouldn't eliminate everybody. I wouldn't say everybody in Georgia's free of blame, but I mean, at the same time, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's the same as in Kentucky. A lot of people think of Kentucky as being a southern state, but at the same time, there's a lot of people in Kentucky that fought for both sides. So, it was not just a Confederate state. It had a lot of Union people in there, and had a lot of pro-Union fighters fighting for freedom. So, but yeah, and I do understand the fact that maybe there were some people out there that maybe were in such poor and remote areas that maybe they didn't really even know what the leadership thought or what they were fighting for. They just thought they were fighting for their state or whatever. So I'm not saying that that's not possible, but just on a broad perspective. The graves next to the old sanatorium. I'm not sure if I know what you're referring to, but that would be an interesting place. I agree. I think we need more peace and less war, that's for sure. And that definitely starts with talking. We all need to have an open conversation about things, and again, we need to stop worrying about, necessarily believing in one certain thing and just making sure that we're correct, making sure that we all do research, making sure that we are right. There's nothing wrong with being wrong as long as you grow from that. And you shouldn't be afraid to be wrong. That's one of the things that I've learned early on, and happy that I learned early on, is that it's good to be wrong sometimes. It's good to be wrong because being wrong means that you're learning something new. And if we all just stick to our guns, we're never going to get anywhere. We're going to keep that divide straight down the middle. And the real answer is that we need to get together and figure out what's right. Tell Trump that. I don't think he'd care what I have to say. But yeah. I don't want to get too much into politics. I'm not trying to sorry, getting distracted again. There was crazy movement on the TV all of a sudden. I think he was referring to what I just said. Head west to sip tequila. I'm not sure I'm following this whole convo. That'd be interesting. The governor of San Diego. Oh, in San Diego. I was gonna say there shouldn't be just a governor of a city. Yeah. All right. I feel like I'm just talking too randomly at this point. I don't really even know. But I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much again for hanging out. I'm not going to be on for too much longer. Again, I'm trying to do another live stream tomorrow, and at the same time, I'm also trying to film a lot tomorrow. So I have been charging my batteries this whole time, which if you have a G7X or you use these batteries suck. I love my G7X, but the batteries are terrible, and they go bad really quickly. All these batteries have about half the life. What resolution do I shoot at? For the episodes, it should all be 1080p, 60 frames a second. For the live streams on my iPhone, I can't control it. It just goes at whatever the signal strength is. Next video coming out tomorrow? Probably not tomorrow. If I can get back to the command center in time and upload something, I'll probably have something, out in a couple days here. So today is what, Tuesday? So Thursday probably. So I'm hoping to do Thursday and Saturday because that would get completely caught up with the missing video from Christmas time, where I just had family stuff going on and didn't upload one of the videos. So, but yeah, if I could, I would definitely have one out tomorrow. But being on the road, I didn't bring my computer with me this time, so I don't have the ability to edit on the road. I guess I could edit on my iPhone, but editing with iMovie on iPhone seems like just torture to me. So thanks, Lisa. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it out there. I'm looking forward to getting a lot out there. Like I said, by the time I get back, I should have anywhere from 7 to 10 new episodes to release to you guys. And from there, not only am I going to be releasing those episodes, but I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams. That's part of the reason we had one more break in the live streams, is because I just needed, the holidays sort of set me back again, and I needed that chance to catch up and get some episodes backlogged. And so now that we have these episodes all backlogged, and I can start editing them over the next few days and getting them uploaded and scheduled and be ahead, then I can do a lot more live streams and a lot more cool live streams and different types of live streams. And like I said, do the tattoo streams, do the piercing streams, do more hiking streams, more travel streams, all of that. So we're doing this so that we can improve the channel, and I appreciate that you all were so patient with me, and thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Thanks, Andrew. Hope you have a great night. Yes, I will be coming to Maryland. I'm not sure exactly when, but we have a family cemetery in Maryland where there are some actual Revolutionary War veterans from my own family. So I'm going to be going and visiting those and getting that on film. And whatever I can find in Maryland. So, yeah. There's got to be a better battery. Not that I've tried so far. These are off-brand. This is another off-brand that I bought. And then I have the Canon battery that came with it, and they all pretty much act the same, unfortunately. All of them last about half as long as they did when I bought them. I probably get about 20 minutes to a half an hour out of each battery, which is terrible. So, and I know with a lot of the newer DSLRs, if you get your 2 battery pack, you usually can get hours and hours, out of it. So I need some sleep. I'm doing all right. Again, I think I'm reading the chat. The chat's the bottom left, and my camera is at the top right, so it looks like I'm a lot more tired than I actually am. So, yeah. One of these days I'll have a better setup for live streams so that I don't have to look strange when I'm reading the chat. Or maybe I'll pull out my tablet and hook it up to the network again so that I can read my chat up here instead of actually reading it way down here. So it's just a weird setup. But I appreciate that. I will be getting some sleep here pretty soon because I do want to get up early and get out there on the road. So I'd like to get as much filming in tomorrow as possible. And it is literally almost tomorrow. So, but yeah. All right. I think that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it here because it is about 20 minutes till midnight, and I need to get to bed here pretty soon, and I need to wind down a little bit because obviously I try to be really high energy when I do these live streams, and it really gets me going. It gets the blood pumping, and it takes me like a good hour or so to get down to the level where I actually can fall asleep after I get these done. So really appreciate you all being here, and thanks again for being so patient and waiting for the streams to come back. How much are the batteries? They're about $20 usually, so I'll probably buy some more. And thank you, Todd. I really appreciate that. But again, yeah, we'll be trying to do the live stream tomorrow as well, and hopefully doing a hiking live stream from somewhere. Thank you, Lola. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it. Good night, everybody. And again, if you enjoyed the live stream, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to share the videos on 539 and Mystery channel if you enjoyed them. And yeah, see if there's anything else. Again, if you have never subscribed before, make sure you hit the subscribe and turn on the notifications, even though sometimes they don't work. And I appreciate y'all again being here. Thank you all. Good night, Jeh. Good night, Matthew. Good night, Anthony. Good night, Jake. Bye, everybody. And again, had a lot of fun hanging out with you all tonight here in the hotel room. Good night, Shauna. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody.